I thank the distinguished representative of Sri Lanka and give the floor to Ireland.
Mr. Chair, Accordia, my name is Alicia Joy O'Sullivan. I'm from rural Ireland, a small town called Skibbereen in Cork, and I am one of Ireland's UN Youth Delegates. My fellow Youth Delegate, Mohammad, and I are honoured to deliver today's statement on behalf of the youth of Ireland. Ireland is committed to ensuring a more equal, peaceful and sustainable world, including through our strong commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals. The SDGs set out a holistic and right-based agenda which facilitate the advancement of social development. They provide the roadmap we need to move forward to create a better, cleaner and more peaceful world. At the halfway point, we now know the biggest obstacles we need to overcome in the next 7 years and beyond. Now is the time to act on our commitments. Climate justice is rooted in the recognition that climate change is causing disproportionate social, economic, health and other impacts for the world's most vulnerable communities. It is estimated that the global north is responsible for 92% of greenhouse gas emissions, from droughts in Madagascar to cyclones in Mozambique. Those who have contributed the least are suffering the most because of our inaction. Our approach cannot be hypocritical. It is clear that something has gone very wrong in our relationship with the natural world. It is far too extractive and disharmonious. Addressing loss and damage must be a key priority for all of us. In 2022, Ireland played a key role with the EU in securing a historic agreement on new funding arrangements, including a fund for addressing loss and damage at COP27. We must ensure that funds are available and that they are accessible by communities who are on the front lines of climate change, particularly least developed countries and small island developing states. Ireland asks the Member States to come to 28 ready to be ambitious and be a leader to ensure that nobody is left behind. I will now pass to my fellow delegate, Mohammad.
Mr. Chair, Accordia, my name is Mohammad Naeem. I'm from Claremorris in County Mayo in the west of Ireland, and I'm one of Ireland's UN Youth Delegates. It seems to me that a key part of social development is addressing barriers that prevent people from participating in economic, social and political life. Racism is an issue that continues to plague societies across the globe. It remains a deep-rooted problem that transcends borders and affects people of every race, creed and colour. It is a scourge that persists in our institutions, our communities, and even within ourselves. It is a contemporary crisis that impacts the lives of millions. It manifests in overt acts of violence and hatred, but it also lurks in the shadows, manifesting as systematic disparities in education, healthcare, employment, and criminal justice. We must recognise that racism is not a problem exclusive to any one country or region. It is a global problem that requires a collective international response. Through the 2030 Agenda, we pledge to leave no one behind. We must consider intersecting forms of discrimination, including discrimination based on race, ethnicity, and other factors, if we are to fulfil this promise. Our response must be multi-layered. It must begin with education. Education ourselves and our children about the historical roots. We must promote empathy and cultural understanding, teaching that diversity is a source of strength, not division. We must encourage open dialogue and honest conversations about race, even when they are uncomfortable. Ireland's National Action Plan Against Racism, launched in March 2023, outlines a whole government approach to combating racism. We must address the structural inequalities that perpetuate racism, whether in the form of racial profiling, unequal access to education and healthcare, or economic disparities. Diversity and inclusion should be at the heart of all our efforts, whether in our workplaces, our governments and our institutions, ensuring that all voices are heard and represented. The youth of Ireland urge all Member States present today to take immediate action in progressing the 2030 Agenda and facilitate social development, including through measures to meaningfully address climate change and tackle discrimination. We don't have time to wait. Thank you.
I thank the distinguished representatives of Ireland and give the floor to Estonia.